It is 3:52 p.m. and you are mindful of, again, the light activity that remains inside of my apartment on a day-to-day basis, as though sunlight is ever going to appear magnified in size through closed blinds, replete with what is, again, a dynamic light. It's not the fact that it's magnified. The light is dynamic, okay? And the entity keeps it in here for hours. Into, again, when it's keeping the light source then above 1818, where in the evening, the entity is maintaining the light source over this building and keeping it in alignment. And then the magnified light, just like you saw this morning, where the entity was mimicking a demonic imitation of a sunrise. And then you have the demonic imitation of a sunset, both of which are in alignment to my apartment. Okay, this is impossible light activity, not only because when you're prosecuting the entity that is terrorizing you with an entirely unnatural environment for a criminal purpose of keeping you under surveillance in concert with the people of the state who are maintaining criminal presence in your path while you remain surrounded with engineered light, which is also molesting your person, which is also coexisting while those demons cross path in vehicles, just like you saw exhibited this morning by LA County Center for Better Life, and also Vanessa Drees and Kumli, all of the demons that live here engage in this regularly. I'm showing you how it doesn't matter what their race is, what their age is, what brand is on their vehicle or on their chest. They're engaging in that same demonic pattern. That also, you saw it when I'm referring to you the documentation of where I was at on October 14th, 2021. At the same time, at 9:05, at 9:08, at 9:07, I'm standing at Lemon and Hope Boulevard, and you're looking at the people of the state doing exactly what Vanessa Drees and the demon driving the Center for Better Life. Let me be clear, Center for Better Life is LA County, okay? Anyway, the entity is engaging in what is crossing paths with engineered light. So this engineered light is inside my apartment. The entity has no warrant or probable cause to surround you with a specific environment for purposes of keeping you under surveillance. Doing it in a demonic manner is also prosecution for additional methods of terrorism by the state. And you're looking at, goodness gracious, a demon that's waiting to cross path. That's what Tiffany Sherez was doing. As soon as I walked to the window, they're not always, it's not a coincidence. There are no coincidences under the light source, by the way. The light source that's present for 11 hours. It shows you the stalkers that are the demon possessed, okay? Who are so pathetic and demented because they are obsessively pursuing wherever it is that you are at, but they want to desperately maintain the outward appearance as though it's anything but that. And so this is the significance of recognizing the environment, and LAPD is fully surrounded with evidence of you're nothing but a stalker because they were already documented the criminal conduct of the preceding agencies refer to what the Ontario Police Department and the Montclair Police Department are engaging in. This is called crossing path. And they are documented 1830 through, I believe, 1857. This is engineered light that's all over their property, and that's criminal, okay? And that's facilitation by the government that's also caught flying in circles in relevant position to me over their apartment building, just like LAPD does here in relevant position to me over this apartment building, where the entity is keeping what is the sun and the moon. And this is the light source that is right here. That's the light source that's there, and that is the entity that's crossing path, a demon in a commercial vehicle, just like you've seen Ryder, Center for Better Life, Amazon Prime. This is impossible light activity, and this is impossible light activity. Okay, here's my arm up here while you're looking at demons that are crossing path. That's exactly what you saw inside of my office. This is impossible light. You're looking at what's supposed to be sunlight here. All you have to do is pay attention. This is the light source that's over here. Okay, what hour are we on? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. 8 hours in. This is the light source that's hovering over my apartment. This is light activity shooting in this direction. This is light activity that's shooting in this direction. And you're supposed to be under the impression that this is the sunlight. And then you've got demons like Luke Powell who are crossing path and want to look like, oh, I'm just walking by. No, they're monitoring. These are demons and they are focused on you. And they need the medical attention that I'm advocating. Mental examinations. There is a psychotic disorder with the demon possessed population that are engaging in this level of hovering stalking. And it is shared by those. By those that are in law enforcement, in the legal profession. They are sitting on benches. They are practicing law with the public defender, the district attorney's office. They have their own law firms as well, but I'm speaking to those in positions of government because I've documented them. All right. Engaging in what is trying to perpetrate a kidnapping, engaging in the exercise of fictitious authority, by the way, while the light source is over the courthouse. Engineered light covers the ground. The entity's doing the exact same thing, stalking in a helicopter. Okay, at no time of day ever, federal government, hear me clear. At no time of day ever is the sun, the natural environment, over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. Never. This is what I'm accomplishing while I'm showing you what the state of California is doing as I'm in Los Angeles. This evidence is directly relevant to what's going on in Rancho Cucamonga and at any location, the state of California is engaged in surveillance. And those are two arms while I'm waving. And this is the window. This is no natural reflection of light that's ricocheting in both directions. These are demons that engage in that same conduct. It's just stationary. When demons are in motion driving by, light swipes all around. This is how they're accomplishing it, by surrounding my private space with that light activity. And they're demons that are doing so. Melania Padilla has a minor child. She's going to federal prison, and that minor child's going to be swiftly removed from her. Okay. It is currently 3:58 p.m. and I am inside of the Upland Public Library at this time. I'm capturing video at 3:51, 3:52 p.m. You're looking at the light activity inside of that library, while a bunch of demons, just like you see pacing around in the parking lot, driving in and out, driving up and down Alvarado, driving out of all they're doing is pacing around. There are a bunch of demons creeping all around in engineered light, while the light source remains over the roof of that Upland Public Library, which is a scientific phenomenon in and of itself. But also, as I go to an entirely different location and I show you what is always the pattern, the light source is always over me. And that's how you know who's stalking you. That's how you know. Okay. And you also are able to recognize who's a psychopath and a sex offender, because while my panties are down, this is what they're doing. They're creeping all around in engineered light while they are all aware of the fact that my panties are down, that I'm engaged in any personal private activity. And I'm doing this because I want you to think of creepy crawlers. They're disgusting creatures in the spirit, actually. And they are engaged in what is highly malicious. Psychopaths that are in everything that they are doing, accomplishing the elements of monitoring, everything. Amplification, light activity, relevant positioning, and it's also malice and impunity. And that's why they're going to get a criminal record as a violent sex offender, engaged in the mass sex offense with the public entity. This is demonic, coming from all directions. This is demonic, coming in all directions in the engineered light. My voice is also audible activity, and you have a bunch of psychopaths who go berserk as I speak the truth about what they're doing and what they are. Very hostile because I'm exposing the reality of what they're doing. You're going to remember this. There's no sun over the Upland Public Library at the same time. The entity is maintaining this light source over the Upland Public Library because the Upland Public Library, a state facilitating venue where the entity was engaged in state surveillance, and they also engaged in that in concert with the Upland Police Department, engaging in what is that hallmark: stalking, terrorizing, harassing as an entity in the most outrageous, egregious, psychotic manner, pursuing, remaining, and following in helicopter. And the Upland Public Library is a facilitating venue in the same way that Alvarado Gardens is a facilitating venue. Let me be clear. The state of California is a facilitating venue. There's no state that's entering into the state of Florida. All right, that's 18044. He's going to federal prison. That's just a demon that's pacing around carrying a dog, monitoring. Demons patrolling, taking turns, coming in and out of their apartment, engaging in surveillance in the parking lot, waiting for the moment to move their car. Demons are doing the same on Alvarado. That's all they're doing. You know that I'm the center of the universe because you're looking at the light source. You're looking at the impossible light. I cannot make it up, and I'm not interested in making anything up. Okay? It is currently 4 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is revealing, again, what you referred to as secret society. The secret society are a bunch of sex-offending, obsessed, group-stalking minions who are of a specific condition. They're demons. The demon-possessed act in groups. That's why you're referring to what is group stalking, gang stalking. Demons engage in gang stalking and group stalking. It's demonic activity. And the government is practicing this demonic activity. And by virtue of the identity of a public entity following you, stalking you, that's criminal surveillance, for which you are identifying through an unnatural environment, because this is the pattern. Everywhere the environment is present, the government is following from place to place and doing so in malicious manners, again, under some false notion that it would never be capable of being identified, let alone that anybody would ever hear the voice of the target individual, that nobody would ever believe them. And this is why I'm advocating. And this is also why it happened to me. Okay, this is providence. All right, this is divine. And what I mean by that is the divine understands the malice of the wicked that are engaging in this sort of system against innocent American citizens. And so it had to happen to someone like me so that I can both expose it. I understand it. I'm in the shoes of the ordinary target individual, and I understand what they ordinarily are not capable of even articulating, understanding, what it might even cause you to question your own sanity. How do you describe this? What do you call this? What is this supposed to be? Who are you going to tell it to? Who's going to look at you as anything other than a delusional, paranoid, schizophrenic, especially, by the way, the entity that's monitoring you, who, by the way, work in the medical they work in the medical field, calling themselves mental health professionals, engaging in what is fictitious authority, trying to kidnap. I've already documented it. All right. They call themselves mental health specialists. They were kidnapping, and they were demons pacing around in engineered light in the facility, trying to criminally defame. And they're going to federal prison. All right. While I'm prosecuting here, I'm prosecuting them. They're going to federal prison. It is currently 4:02 p.m. This is the maintenance of the specific environment. There is no sun that's over the Upland Public Library. You're understanding the ease with which the entity is engaging in this demonic activity. It's understanding what is the massive sex offense. Well, all they do is cross path and amplify audible activity while they know that my panties are down. And that's a sexually motivated pattern of conduct, very highly demented, and the demons intend to offend while they know that you're aware of it as well. All of this mind state is what I want the federal government to be mindful of while they are engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring. And they're also monitoring on communication devices in violation of Title 18, which is another federal crime that the people of the state are going to be prosecuted for. All right. They will be published. Group stalkers shall be maintained on a list maintained by the Department of Justice, where the government is placing American citizens under surveillance. You're going on a list just like any other sex offender, such as the Megan's list, and it's going to be maintained by the federal government. All right. It is currently 4:03 p.m. I want you to see that light source that is not over the Upland Public Library. We are not sharing the sky space. There is no sunlight through the Upland Public Library. That's engineered light, and that's engineered light here. It's P.O.C.